Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description. It'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? We got a very exciting video today. This time we have another Jynx video. Last time Jynx was around, I made a video and said I do not recommend you to run this Pokemon, to build this Pokemon, to run this team. But you know what? Things have changed. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. First of all, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this team. So this is Obstagoon, Gallade, Jynx. It's a standard ABB team, double confusion. And standard movesets. There's nothing really else you could run besides maybe Gunk Shot on Obstagoon. But obviously you need Cross Chop for, well, the Obstagoon mirror itself, as you can see, is happening right now. Although this very American mirror right there, you can see they have the red, white, and blue, whereas I'm more of the black, white, and red. But it is what it is. Anyways, why is Jynx? Why is Jynx the Pokemon to play with nowadays? It all started when I was making the Walrein Toxicroak core for a previous video. I had to look into the core breakers to see what I would be dealing with in the Ultra Premier Classic meta. And obviously, we have Jellicent as a core breaker for that team. But the other core breaker, the second core breaker that came up, and it's a Pokemon that I've played personally a lot. I've maybe played this Pokemon more than any other player in the world. No other player is stupid enough to have run this Pokemon this much in the past. And that Pokemon is Jynx. Jynx resisting Walrein's ice moves, dealing some neutral damage back, and obviously destroying Toxicroak with the double super effective confusions. So this Pokemon actually does have some play now. And the interesting part about it is you see a Walrein lead here. We have two Pokemon, Obstagoon and Jynx, that both core break different Walrein cores. The two most common Walrein cores, I would say, are Trevenant Walrein and Toxicroak, or Venusaur Walrein. And the first gets core broken by Obstagoon, the latter two get core broken by Jynx. So as long as they have a Walrein on the team, you have a very, very, very good chance of winning. And you know what? The third Pokemon is Gallade, not even too shabby against Walrein either. Alright, in this case, we're joining halfway through a game. Looks like Gallade took a 2-shield advantage versus Crobat. Note to self, when they swap in Crobat, swap in Jynx instead of Gallade, because it doesn't take super effective damage from flying. But grabbing a 2-shield advantage with Gallade is definitely, honestly, probably even preferable. So in this case, everything worked out. This Walrein kind of has to go up against the Jynx. Obstagoon has a couple shield advantage here to work with, but we're actually going to spend both of our shields on Jynx this game, and you're going to see this a lot. There's going to be a lot of games where we're spending 2 shields on Jynx. The ability for it to farm something down and turn that confusion damage, which hits pretty hard, into either Avalanche or Psyshock is incredible. Look how much damage this Avalanche does to Sylveon, and Obstagoon's going to come in, try and get these Night Slashes off, throwing one Night Slash here. And it'll need one more Night Slash to KO the Sylveon. The Sylveon doesn't need to go past a Psyshock there to take Obstagoon at that range. And Obstagoon's actually going to take out Sylveon. And you know what? Sylveon is a Pokemon that beats every single Pokemon on this team in the one shield. And somehow it still manages to lose the game. So it just shows you can kind of play around any sort of Pokemon that is a bit tough for the team. Now, if there were 2 Charmers, you might be in a bit more trouble. Luxray lead, going to swap out right away. It's a neutral lead for everything, so just going to go into Gallade. It's likely the Wild Charge and swap, but so I'm going to shield that. In comes Typhlosion. I throw the Leaf Blade here. Should have thrown the Close Combat. This was a mistake. This Incinerate will take out my Gallade before I get to the second Leaf Blade anyways, but they will shield up because they know there's no reason for me to bait unless like I make a big mistake there. Anyways, you can come with the Obstagoon, and I am going to no shield my Obstagoon. I want to keep this shield advantage for Jynx so it can take out this Luxray later on in the game, and hopefully whatever else is in the back end. You know, it's a bit of a tall ask right here, just because whatever else is in the back has to be quite weak to Jynx for it to be able to take out both these Pokemon, barring a mistake from my opponent. So Jynx is going to be able to come and get a confusion off before it takes any damage, and here we go. It's a Gallade in the back. Psychic resists Psychic, but unfortunately Fighting does not. It takes super effective damage, so Jynx is chunking this Gallade while taking resisted damage back. Gallade does outpace the moves, so that's the advantage going for Gallade, but I would consider this a solid matchup for Jynx. Now, my only win condition here is if my opponent baits and I no-shield. If they just go to 2 Wild Charge, I'm pretty sure I lose, so I'm going to no-shield the Psychic Fang. And you know what? That's a lesson learned, hopefully, for my opponent. just don't bait. And if you see your win condition, if your win condition is not baiting, you don't need to bait. Baiting loses more games, I think, than it wins probably in overall Pokemon Go. I honestly truly believe that. I feel like if people just stop baiting, they would gain rating. It's just as simple as that. Obstagoon lead. They actually try and catch. So I'm not going to throw there. They come in with Nidoqueen. This matchup is nowhere as clean as you would like it to be. You definitely can't get that. You can't like prevent them from forcing you to shield if they don't want you to, but because we CMP tie, gonna let Jynx go down here. It's not like I don't have Pokemon that can deal with Nidoqueen. Gallade could farm down here, or I could come with the Obstagoon. That way I'm not too scared of taking a move. I can just throw a Night Slash to take this Nidoqueen out. If I come with Gallade, I have to take a move anyways, and I feel like my Gallade is going to be more important. I actually do get the boost here, which doesn't really change. Actually, it does change a decent amount. Crobat comes in, going to throw the Night Slash at Crobat. Obviously, if Obstagoon came in, we're just going to force a shield. And then they're going to try and take me out. Oh, so big play. This is a big play coming here. I'm going to take this damage on my Obstagoon first. I'm not switching. Notice I waited to switch so that air slash damage. The video is a bit fast. You might not be able to see it. I took the air slash damage on the Obstagoon instead of my Gallade. If I'd swapped right away, if I was spamming that switch button like I normally do, Gallade would take that air slash damage. And then we'll see. At the end of this game, if my Gallade has less than 1 air slash worth of HP, I would have lost the game otherwise. And guess what? It's a tie, but we still have Obstagoon in the back. That's a win. Obstagoon watching from the sidelines, cheering on his team. #1 cheerleader, yell captain Obstagoon, carrying the team to victory by tanking that 1 air slash. So honestly, of all like the last 10 videos I think I've made, that might have been like the highest level play, a mechanics play, I guess, to win a game. And it's something that people probably wouldn't notice at all if I didn't point it out, right? So I feel like, I hope I don't sound like I'm tooting my horn too much here. I really am just trying to point out the plays that you can be making. This is a complicated game. There's a lot of things that can happen and a lot of things that we might not even be thinking about a lot of the time. Anyways, the Lilima comes in to farm down the Gallade, and Obstagoon is a great answer to switch into a loaded Alolan Muck. All I can really do is throw these acid sprays. So you don't really have to worry too much about this energy, and you can build up energy of your own. My Obstagoon is going to be at 2 full Night Slashes. They're going to come back in with this Crobat. And, oh, Empoleon is not what you want to see. This is one of the hardest answers to Jynx in the entire meta. You would have loved this to be a Walrein instead. Going to shield up the Hydro Cannon, 2 more Confusions, and throw the Psyshock, because Psyshock is only single resisted, as opposed to Avalanche being double resisted. Yeah, the Sneak, that's okay. I mean, Jynx isn't going to make it to another move anyway, so it's not really that material. And honestly, I don't want to deal more damage to Empoleon. I want more farm. I'm going to shield up once, and the goal here is to farm down, and I'm going to need 3 Night Slashes to take out this Crobat, including burning the shield. They actually swap, which is great for me, because I didn't want to go over 100 energy, and I'm going to get to this next Night Slash. I have both Night Slashes now. All I need to do is for this Crobat to not win CMP, but Crobat does win CMP versus Obstagoon, unfortunately. Going to be able to Poison Fang and take out my Obstagoon before I'm able to land that move. If I was able to take out the Crobat, it would have been very close. It would have been a farm down race between Empoleon and Obstagoon, but gonna race close to the 2800s here. I actually did hit Expert with this team beforehand, but that set is not here because there was a bad set in between, and I wanted to show 3 good sets of gameplay in a row. I really don't like taking out sets of gameplay because it just misrepresents the team. I don't want to lie to you guys or anything. I want you guys to be able to run teams that are good. If people are only showing you wins, you're not getting the full picture. Is that team reliable? You don't get to see how it loses. You're going to maybe run that team and be like, oh, but I ran into a Charm lead. How do I play that? And you'd probably just lose, but it's nice to know how to play in those losses. Give yourself the best chance of winning. Either way, we have a Gallade come in to Gallade. They win CMP. My Gallade, unfortunately, look at those IVs. Those IVs are way too good to be winning CMP, unfortunately. So I'm going to let that one go. Jynx is pretty good at farming down Gallade here. Going to shield up because close combat actually hurts quite a bit. And guess what? It's a Muck in the back, so we'll burn a shield. Save for another Confusion. We can't tank a move on the Jynx here, so the goal here is to try and catch on Obstagoon. And even though the catch fails, it's not going to be Dark Pulse or anything, right? they are forced to throw this energy at Obstagoon because they can't just farm it all the way down. So very important to not be in on the Pokemon that they can farm down when they only have one Pokemon, well, essentially one Pokemon remaining. And in this case, Obstagoon is just going to soak up all of this damage, deal a little bit more, and I have my eye on the switch timer here. I really don't want to take this muck out before the switch timer is up because I cannot let this Gallade get in on my Obstagoon and farm it down. That's the only way I can possibly lose this game. I'm going to swap out into the Jynx right away, and they're going to realize the game is over as soon as they see the switch comes out. But yet another win for Jynx, closing it out. Obstagoon versus Charizard lead. This is not great, but they actually swap out. I go to Jynx against this Poliwrath, and you know what, guys? If you see a Poliwrath come in, don't go to Jynx. Go to Gallade. This Dynamic Punch really hurts Jynx, and it does not hurt Gallade at all. Sure, the Ice Punch is resisted, but why would they throw Ice Punch? I mean, well, unless your Jynx is like 2 HP. They're just going to throw the Dynamic Punch. So going to be able to take out this Poliwrath right before they get to a move. I think there's one turn of lag there. They should have been able to get to that Ice Punch. I was prepared to double shield. But Charizard comes back in. Going to be able to grab at least one shield back with this with an Avalanche. First one goes through, deals a ton of damage. Second one goes through. We'll take out this Charizard unless they shield. And they get a couple wing attacks in. But Obstagoon also had a couple of counters. Going to beat them to a move. This Night Slash will take this Charizard out. So they will shield to preserve it. But at this point, I don't really care about my Obstagoon. I don't really care about it at all. We're going to let it go down. Actually, well, we're going to throw a move. My opponent makes a really nice catch onto their Machamp, but a catch on Machamp is exactly what I want to see. Going to go into Gallade. Gallade is going to be able to farm down this Machamp and obviously transfer that damage into a close combat on the Charizard to win the game, if they didn't quit, of course. All right. Ampharos lead. Ampharos has been giving the teams I've been making a little bit of trouble. This Pokemon, unless it faces something that resists electric, is an absolute monster. Just pumps out this consistent damage. It's got access to Focus Blast, so we're going to try and make a catch here. And actually make a catch on a Gallade, but unfortunately they're baiting like every Ampharos does. We're going to take a Thunder Punch, and in comes the Walrein. So this is probably the best place for Walrein to be for them, to be honest. I'm not going to shield because Obstagoon wants a farm. Going to throw this Leaf Blade. It'll deal a lot of damage and won't quite take out Shadow Walrein though. But Obstagoon obviously will be able to finish the job here. Oh. Yeah, this Icicle Spear is going to deal a lot of damage. Take out the Walrein. And in comes Toxicroak. So not exactly what you want to see. Going to go with the Jynx. And Ampharos, I was really hoping the Ampharos would come back in. I was loaded up, ready to take it out. But unfortunately, this Ampharos is also loaded up. And you can see they actually get 2 Volt Switches in there. It looks like I lagged for 2 turns, which is unfortunate. And because I lagged for 2 turns, they're actually going to get that move off. Whereas I don't think they do if I don't lag 2 turns. I really don't think they do. So either way, I don't have a shield anymore for this Toxicroak. I won't be able to farm it down. And it looks like I'm going to lose this game. Unfortunately, due to... Oh, well, unless I get the boost here. Oh. Due to the 2-turn lag bug. And you know what? Niantic needs to fix their stuff. There just seems to be no bugs getting fixed and a bunch of bugs getting added. And there will be another one that I'm going to talk about a little bit that shows up. Yeah, it's kind of hard to exclude sets due to lag since all sets just have lag nowadays. Anyways, Venusaur lead, we're going to swap into Gallade. Charizard comes into Gallade, going to throw the close combat at it right away because nobody expects the close combat right away. I'm actually going to no-shield this one up. So just a Dragon Claw deals a lot of damage, but guess what? My opponent lags for 2 turns this time, so I get the confusion through. So the 2-turn lag giveth, and the 2-turn lag taketh away, except the other way around because I lost the game first. But it does return a winning scenario for me here. And now I've kept switch advantage. I'm able to, I've gained switch advantage. I'm allowed to bring my Jynx into this Venusaur, although it will have to shield Frenzy Plants for sure. They're going to swap into the Gengar, and the correct play would have been to switch out into the Goon. But, you know, I decided to let Jynx have some fun here. Let it ride out, and my opponent does not want to see Jynx just farm down the entirety of the team. So they're going to gracefully decline and quit out. But yeah, it's crazy. Every game has lag nowadays. I played my first factions game in like 2 weeks. Dispute right away. Anyways, Walrein lead into Granville. Oh, this team. This is your best answer to Charm. It's Jynx, and Jynx does not get more than 1 move off versus Charmer. So kind of a sad situation to be in, but Jynx will get this Granville quite low. Yeah, very low. And Gallade should be able to come in, and unfortunately we'll have to spend a shield unless it wants to take a full-on crunch here from pretty attack-weighted Pokemon. Yeah, so Gallade able to take it out. A little bit of an energy advantage, but I'm thinking it's double charm just because people are running Granville on a team instead of Sylveon. It's because they also have the Sylveon in the back, I'm pretty sure. So that's the big tell right there. Gonna swap into my Obstagoon to speed up the process. And yeah, bring that Sylveon out. I decided to go for the bait to see how it goes. Figure if I can get a couple boosts in a row and they shield all of them, maybe I could win. But no boost. I probably should have top left it, but decided, you know what, this double charmer player, his games are pretty short anyways. Let's bring him up to the average. I'm gonna no shield this one though, because my time is also valuable. Yeah, you're not gonna beat double charm with this team. In fact, you probably won't beat single charm, but there's not too much of that in Ultra League Premier so far. If you're seeing a lot of it, especially in the lead, maybe don't run this team actually. Maybe that should have been a disclaimer. But okay, Obstagoon and Toxicroak, obviously not a great lead, but we do have some answers to this. I'm gonna swap into the Jynx, I believe. Yeah, Jynx is a bit better here to switch into because it's the worst answer. Gallade can absolutely wall that Toxicroak. Doesn't need to worry about it. Jynx kind of takes an extra damage from those counters. Magnezone, counter swap is just going to throw the mirror shot here, but it's going to be enough. But Jynx did grab shield advantage, and Obstagoon doesn't really need a shield to beat this Magnezone. So we're going to no shield here. All charge will deal a lot, but they actually just go for the mirror shot. I mean, I'm not in the business of shielding. I'm not even in the business of throwing moves. This Obstagoon is just a lazy Obstagoon. He's just going to keep ticking away at this Magnezone. Going to come with the Gallade. And my suspicion was that it was an Empoleon in the back. So I figured Gallade with a 2-to-1 shield advantage can beat that Empoleon. But it turns out it's Walrein, the new age Empoleon, the Empoleon replacement. And this is even a better matchup. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. What move did I just throw at? Did anyone see that? So I'm going to throw a Leaf Blade here. You guys see, does anyone see a Toxicroak at all? Even looking at the top right corner, no, it's Ice Water. Oh, okay, threw my Leaf Blade at an Ice Water Pokemon. Oh, and it's a Toxicroak. It magically transformed into a Toxicroak. What a great bug. In this case, it doesn't really matter, but what if, like, depending on what Pokemon you're throwing a move at, if my opponent makes a catch, a lot of the time I want to undercharge a move. And I can't make that decision if I can't tell what Pokemon my charge move is getting thrown at. So it is a big deal, even though people might say, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just a visual bug. Visuals are the entire thing that we play this game off of. We make decisions based on what we see. If we can't trust what we see, how can we count moves? How can we count moves? How can we choose to undercharge? How can we even choose what to shield? Sometimes different Pokemon are throwing completely different moves at us. Anyways, enough of that. Trevenant lead. Obstagoon loves this, and they usually switch to try and catch, so I'm not throwing there. I swap a little bit slow to Gallade. This matchup is pretty good in the lower shield scenarios, but especially if you swap slow, Swampert can win the 2 shield. So I let the Hydro Cannon through for sure. Gonna get this Leaf Blade off. And they're actually gonna throw right away as well. So I'm gonna get, they got a Mud Shot through, I'm gonna get Confusion through. And I know I'm gonna be able to get to this Leaf Blade before they're able to get to their move. But I know I won't be able to get there before their next move. They throw a little bit early even. I am going to just no shield that. It would be kind of a dumb shield. I'd just be throwing that shield into the garbage. Instead, I'm going to farm down Jynx. Jynx is the extra shield this game. We're going to shield up or use it to shield this Earthquake. I'm going to have an Avalanche. I could throw an Avalanche and a Trevenant coming in, but I decide to make the safer play by swapping into Goon and banking this move for later. And the Trevenant comes out. Going to throw a Night Slash here. And just going to throw another Night Slash. Obviously, they're going to get that Seed Bomb off first. Seed Bomb kind of tickles. I'm not going to lie, but I did click that Night Slash button, so as long as it registers and throws it at the correct Pokemon this time, it does. Gonna be able to take that out, and it is the Walrein in the back. This is usually what happens if you don't see something come out and they've been hiding it for a long time and they bring Pokemon into weird matchups or stay in with weird matchups. It's a Walrein in the back with this team. So gonna just shield up the Icicle Spear. I do have the move on Jynx, so I can just throw that at any time as well. So this game was not even as close as it kind of looked. All right, next game. The Shadow Walrein lead. This is where you love to see it. But in comes Tangrowth. Now, this is kind of tricky. This kind of makes this Walrein matchup a little bit harder because I don't really have a way to guarantee switch anymore. Although, to be fair, I don't really need switch. It's just if they're going to hard swap like that, it's likely whatever they have in the back is good against Obstagoon, unless it's Trevenant. So it really depends on how I want to play this one. Tangrowth comes in. I'm going to come in with the Gallade. I wanted to get it a little bit lower so I could just kind of guarantee taking this thing out without having to debuff myself. And obviously we're going to see the Walrein come back in. Leaf Blade's going to deal a ton of damage, unless they choose to shield it, which they do. Obviously going to come back in. I thought about coming back in with the Jynx here, just because you resist the moves, the Icicle Spear, but I figured, wait, do you guys see that? What the heck? So we're gonna come in, we're gonna throw, they're gonna throw, and then I'm gonna throw this cross chop. Did you guys see a Trevenant come in? I saw a message saying Trevenant, but I didn't actually see Trevenant at all. And yeah, unfortunately, not gonna be able to do too much here. Gonna shield up once to trade shields with this Trevenant, because I have two of them and I'm just gonna get farmed down on this Jynx anyways. But yeah, we'll have to shield up. Jynx will win this particular matchup, but it remains to be seen if Jynx is going to be able to beat this Walrein in the next matchup, especially because Walrein has a little bit of an energy advantage with that catch. So great catch by my opponent, but I really wish I was just able to see what was happening. It didn't matter in this case either, right? But it's just, there are games where it matters and you'd want to undercharge because of that. But they're catching on a full HP Pokemon. Didn't matter this time at all. Yeah, my opponent played very well. They're going to actually win against this team with a Walrein without Double Charm. Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, next game. Escavalier lead. Absolutely awful. Going to go into the Jynx, of course. Actually missed my switch button on the first one. That was not an intentional counter. And I'm going to no-shield this. I really don't think people have the chutzpah to throw Mega Horn right away, especially at Jynx. But I don't even know if they built up to it. I think that was just 7. Anyway, it's going to throw the Avalanche. Deals quite a bit of damage back to the Scav. I'm actually just really happy they didn't shield, because this now allows my Gallade to farm down. It's going to come with the Gallade. I expected this to be a Mega Horn for some reason again, or an Aerial Ace, so I'll shield up. And it's just a drill run, but either way, keeping this Gallade healthy might not be too bad, because look, it's another Gallade in the back. Could be kind of important. They actually sneak a move here, which unfortunately is going to allow them to get to this Leaf Blade. Well, they actually even have an extra one over that, so I'm going to have to shield up. I really need to take out this Gallade, because I know this Gallade can just charge up to 2 close combats and just annihilate my Obstagoon. And in comes the Alolan Muck. So if you guys remember my last video, the correct way to play this Alolan Muck matchup from their side is to throw Acid Spray first, obviously, and then throw Dark Pulse, because the debuff Dark Pulse is going to deal an absolute ton of damage. So I'm going to just keep throwing cross chops here, see what my opponent elects to do, and they just get to a move. So we'll see if this is the Dark Pulse. Or no, it is the Acid Spray, so I do have a chance here. I'm going to just try and farm a little bit. We're going to throw the Cross Chop. But remember, they still have a Gallade in the back. So I'm going to swap to my Gallade and farm down this Alolan Muck, allowing my Gallade to get to a Leaf Blade and take out their Gallade. I actually almost top lefted this game. I thought there was 0 chance I could win this game. But this just goes to show, don't quit games unless you're 100% sure you're going to lose. There's always a win condition, whether it be your opponent messing up or lag or a play that you didn't see. We're both going to swap out of this lead. They go into their Muck. I go into my Gallade. This is a definite win for Gallade. And they actually go for the acid spray. I thought I was being so smart with that shield. But I mean, I would have had to shield anyways if I wanted to farm down. This Gallade comes back in. No confusion through that I can see, but you never know. And these Leaf Blades, they do hurt. They do hurt. Gonna grab a shield back. Gallade is gonna get one confusion, but I do have a pretty good answer to this. And hint, it is not Obstagoon. Oh wait, it is. I bring in the Obstagoon because they hard swapped out of Gallade into Muck into Obstagoon. I know my Obstagoon doesn't really have anywhere to go. I'm going to shield up whatever this is. Likely a Poison Fang, but no, I actually go for the Shadow Ball, so huge props to my opponent for keeping it classy. No baits involved. Going to throw this Avalanche right away because I just need to strip that shield. And if there's one thing that Jynx is good at, it is stripping shields. And yeah, Obstagoon would be able to clean up in the back as long as I was not confusion down there. Anyways, I think that's the last set. Yet another 4-1, up to 28-48. Haven't played since then. Might save it for stream if I want to hit Legend there. Instead, I don't know, taking my time this season. It's no rush at all. And I would love to hit an Ultra League though, just because that would be my first time ever to hit Legend in Ultra League. I usually hit it in Great League beforehand or Master League beforehand. Little Cup, I've even hit it in Little Cup before. I've hit in a bunch of these themed cups, but never once have I hit it in Ultra League. So very excited to maybe pop my Ultra League cherry there and hit Legend. But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Jynx. Hopefully you guys don't waste too much Stardust on the Jynx. And those Jynx IVs are wrong. That's my bad. That's a hundo. That's a hundo Jynx. I screwed up. Whoops. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching.